Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you don't know me, my name is Duamel Bentley and welcome to the Dufe channel. Today, as you saw in the little title box or the title promotion, I don't even know, what is that called? The promo, the leak, the snatcheroonie. Girl, we're not deciphering that today. What we're deciphering though is Elf's Electric Mood latest collection. And I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I hated Elf. I really did. I got it years ago where they used to sell these little booklets and that worked okay. But then like everything just went south for me. I didn't really like it. I didn't enjoy it. It just didn't attract me. I should mention that they're the queen. Like it is what it is. Period. Elf is ruling the drugstore, if not the makeup industry. You know, it's taking it by storm and really delivering really beautiful, consistent, fun, creative products. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm very shook. I'm very surprised. I never expected to go and want to check Elf out because it just didn't call my attention before. However, now I've got to bring it to you guys because I know it's consistent. I know it's quality. At least what we've tried in the past has been consistent and it's been quality. So I'm really excited with the affordability of things because sometimes makeup can be very expensive. And sometimes that doesn't mean that it's going to be the best piece of makeup, right? Doesn't mean that just because you have a Chanel lipstick, it's going to work better than, I don't know, whatever lipstick you love that's from the drugstore, right? So starting off today, I want to start with a Petitian. These names are very, very tongue twisting, and I am so sorry. I know this person's like an artist or an influencer, and I'm really excited for them that they got an opportunity to be showcased in, a different community because clearly I've never heard of this person. And it might be that, she's like super new and super popular and I just haven't caught up to her. However, this is so beautiful. It's cream, and if you don't know, girl, you heard it here first. Cream is it. Everybody and their mother are creaming it. Cream blushes, cream highlighters, cream contours. Now, I feel like business plans for beauty businesses are like, girl, it's cream, or you're not launching anything. You know what I'm saying? A little hydration in my life. Okay, so what I want to do first, I want to kind of show you packaging, just really, really monochrome. It reminds me a lot of Jaclyn Hill. I feel like Jaclyn Hill definitely would have done something like this if she would have collabed with Elf. I just feel like it would have been more of the metallic, icy type of Jaclyn Hill vibe. However, opening it up, the packaging does feel really, really nice. This is $12 for the quad, which I think it's a really affordable price. As you can see here, I haven't really touched on the formula whatsoever. It looks really balmy. It almost looks like a lip balm versus any kind of cream product. So I want to swatch it for you. Let's start with the highlighter. It does feel really silky, really creamy, and you can't really, you can see there the little swatch, but it's just very kind of oily. Okay. More than shiny, it's just more like the reflection of the juice on your skin, which this has to be so beautiful. For those days that you want a kind of a little bit of glow, a little bit of dew, and you're like, I'm unsure if like I want like a beaming highlighter, just want something very natural. I think this is looking like a very convenient product for that. So let's hop on to the other blush. They do have really beautiful shades of blush here, and the formula of the blush compared to the formula of the highlighter does feel a lot more creamier. It does feel definitely like there's a difference in the formula for sure. You can definitely even see how the highlighter is doing just, what it's meant to do, which is bling and look delicious, and the actual blush is not as blingy or as creamy. It just feels like this will stay on for a lot longer than the actual highlighting will. So moving on to the other blush shade, and I'm just kind of swirling it around. Again, very creamy. I really do enjoy kind of working in here. My hands are sanitized. My best piece of advice for you is if you're working with these kinds of cream products, sanitize them as best as you can, whether it's by sanitizing your hands first or spritzing a little bit of alcohol just to ensure that there's no bacteria growing in the actual cream products. Now, that blush shade is so gorgeous. You know, I've really been into kind of building my blush with something that's a little bit deeper, working its way to maybe something that's a little bit brighter, just to kind of shrink the face and focus on that kind of front area. And I feel like this is gonna work really well for that technique. So we'll do that today. And last but not least, we have the contour slash bronzer aspect of it. And that is the bronzer slash contour shade. I've got to be honest with you, I do think that this is a really lovely selection of tones. I think this is very universal. I feel like most definitely some skins, like very, very fair skins or very deep, rich, luxurious tones of skin might be left out. I personally would have preferred maybe for them to do 3 palettes, one more targeted towards those very fair porcelain skins to maybe a possible medium, medium to deep, and deep to rich pigment of skin. But this is the only one that they had available. I think that definitely a lot of people can benefit off of this. However, a lot of people are also left out of this. So a little tweak here, 2021 Elf Girl, what are you doing, right? So this is really cute. I mean, the consistency's nice. I have already had, you know, the foundation game on, and I'm excited because I have a sponge here, which is what I applied my foundation with today. I have lightly powdered because I really want to know if you're able to work with these guys on top of powder. Also, I didn't want my concealer to crease because that's just no fun. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? So let's start off with, I guess, the contour aspect of it. I am not going to lie to you. I'm a little intimidated. I'm very new to the cream system. However, I've had really good luck with the cream, you know, products and how they wear and how they look. You know, still intimidating. So what I like to do, of course, as you can see here, I have a very rounded face. A lot has to do with your features, your weight, you know, everybody's different, right? So this is gonna be a very much tailored to you video, right? You wanna ensure that you're creating that kind of symmetry and you're creating that shape into your face. So what I personally like to do, because I wanna cut the cheek a little bit, I don't wanna look so, I call myself a little, you know, like a little pancito, a little bun, because, you know, it's like, hi, how are you, dinner roll? So I like to just kind of like, you know, just like that, and then I'll go ahead and apply the product. A really nice trick that I've really started to really enjoy is push it up just a little bit further than you would think. Typically people go underneath. I would encourage and recommend for you to try it a little bit higher. It really does make a really beautiful difference. It just creates more of a luxury feel to the skin, and it doesn't really look like you have that line of contour under your cheeks, right? Because sometimes that can look a little crazy. So let me show you my way of doing the cream for the nation, honey. So this is what it's looking like on first application. I've got to be honest with you, you do have to work with this very quickly because it does dry. So it did happen to me a little bit. It did dry out. However, I think it blended out fairly easily. I just see a little bit of inconsistency within the color. So I'm gonna go, I see that this side here, it's a little bit lighter. This portion here is a little bit, it grabbed more pigment. And this side here is just a little bit more opaque. So I'm gonna go in for a second dip. Less is more when it comes to creams. Try your best to definitely take it one step at a time. Okay, so that is the cream bronzer. It definitely did warm up the skin. I've got to be honest with you a little bit. It does dry quite fast, and I don't enjoy that because, especially for someone who's new to creams, it kind of is a little bit difficult to work with. As you can see, there's a little bit of a line here, and I feel like that's one of the biggest issues that I normally have with cream contours is that they invade the face in a way that you're like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I will say that even though that it did invade the face, quite as you can see, deliberately, I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to be applying blush and that's going to be around that area as well. So everything will pull together. This is a very, very early stage of the makeup, but on first impressions on the formula that I've tried so far, it does dry quite fast, and once it starts really drying, it's just you just have to work really fast with this. If not, it's gonna ruin your makeup. So let's go on to, I wanna dabble into the darker shade of blush, and I wanna make sure she's mainly fixated around this area here, going into the temple, a little bit of the hairline, and you'll see in a second here how fun and cool the concept looks. So again, utilizing the sponge. Now matching up with the lighter portion of the beautiful blush. You can either go like this or like this. I typically like to go like this because it just slenderizes the face a little bit more. Again, remember I'm dealing with the whole pancito movement going on here, and I'm trying to cut the yeast, you know what I'm saying, honey? Okay, so blush has been kind of blended into the skin. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of this product as of what we're doing today. The reason why is because I feel like they're very, very creamy on the actual pot, but when it goes on the face, it kind of starts drying immediately, right? So by the time I'm doing this and I'm gonna go here to apply, this has already been drying, so it's just very, very difficult to kind of get it, nice and soft and juicy. So I think this works. However, I think this is also a very difficult product. I think this looks really nice. However, it could look better. It's just, again, a little bit too, not the biggest fan of it so far. So let's go for the last shade, which is the highlighter. And I'm gonna do a little bit of like both because I have the palette as well. We're gonna be working with that in this video, but I wanna kind of create that underbase, really, unless you're just kind of wearing this lightly veiling a powder. You don't have to do much to it because of course creams will add the longevity. But if you do build on it, right, if you do the creams and then if you do the powders, your makeup's gonna be set and it's gonna last and look incredible all day long, right? So in my case, that's what I'm trying to do. It's summer, it is very, very warm, and I definitely wanna make sure that the skin is looking great. Now this shade, I'm not gonna lie, it's very beautiful, but it does concern me because it's so oily. But, when in Rome, right? It gives you iridescence for sure. Nothing special. If I'm honest with you, if you're in a budget, right, and you're looking to save money and you're like, which one do I get? Like, what works? I'm really interested in getting, a good palette. I think this is convenient. I just think this is underwhelming. I expected it to perform better. I don't know if it's because maybe I've tried other ones that I just really enjoyed. I think this looks great. However, there's better out there for sure. So what I'm going to do now that we've applied all of the goods, I'm gonna powder my skin. I have a powder puff here and I'm just gonna kind of run it through, making sure that everything is kind of locked in. Make sure that whenever we go ahead and apply whatever product we're applying, it's gonna kind of run seamlessly through it. I've gotta be honest with you, it does look natural and it does look really lovely. However, I just feel like it was just a lot of hassle to get it to like a point where I was satisfied with it. And I feel like it's just underwhelming compared to like other products that we've tried on the channel that are cream based. Sorry, it's just the truth in my opinion and in my experience. This is cute, but I would pass if I had to pass. Girl, I went and overdid it with this blush. I look like I belong in that damn Jaclyn Hill latest collection launch with the whole blush palette. I'm like, girl, where you at? Like, let me see right here right now. Now, I have baked, finished off the bronzer off camera as well as the blush. I think that this guy, I just need to really get the patience and kind of like work with it more and more and more to get the idea of how beautiful this works, because I do think it's a lovely product. I just have used better. Even though this is affordable, I feel like the formula is just a little all over the place. So let's see how that wears for today. Let's move on to the next product that I have here, and that is the Tiana Major. Again, I don't know this person. I think she's a singer, and I think Felipe told me the song that we know. And I was like, oh. But I'm still questioning it. So if you know who she is, leave it in the comment down below. And girl, while you're at that, subscribe to the channel. Do you see this hot blush? Don't play me. All right, so this palette is actually really, really cute. I love the back tone. I love that she incorporated a message. It says, I hope you create nothing but art and magic with this collection. Thank you for supporting always. Love, Tiana XO. Girl, are you in Gossip Girl? What's good? So I have not opened this. This has the seal, which I need to unravel now. While I do that, let's talk a little bit about pricing. Now, this palette is an 18 shadow pan palette. Of course, they have, mattes and they have shimmers. And it's actually really affordable. It's only $16, which is really nice. I've got to be honest with you, I don't typically like packaging like this. However, this is packaging that is cheap done right. Like, this doesn't look cheap, it doesn't feel cheap. The palette that I was just reviewing, the Wet n Wild Wild Heart, if you haven't seen that video, I'll make sure to link it down below. That packaging is atrocious. It is so horrible. However, this is very similar, but it's just different and it looks good. It doesn't look cheap. It looks fresh, innovative, and quite honestly, very youthful. So let's open this palette here. And I've got to be honest with you, they're really beautiful tones. I think you can wear these tones every single day for every type of event. They have the pops of blue, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm very impressed of the color selection. This is definitely something that I would grab and utilize. Let's swatch this baby and let's get into it, because like you saw, I just opened it. So let's get into this. This is the first row. And I've got to be honest with you, I think this is a gorgeous tone, but they're kind of lacking a little bit of luster, especially the metallic kind of, there's one called here the Empress in, what? Empress in girl. The Empress shade, which is the first one on the top. She's just lacking a little bit of luster. She looks like she would be very metallic, very, very reflective. Not as reflective as the one next to it, but she looks like she'll pack a punch. And if I'm honest with you, she just looks cheap. Very honest, but very true. Let me wipe this off and let's go to the next row. Second row here, and now we're kicking into gear. Mattes are looking creamy and delicious, and I'm not gonna lie, this blue, this is one of the reasons why I decided to get this palette, because that blue is like iconic. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't necessarily love blues, but this is just such a gorgeous tone. I feel like it's just fresh and beautiful, great for the inner corner, great for a cut crease. It's just great. So let me take this off and let's go on to the next row. And this is the last row. I've got to be honest with you, I love that blue too. And that black looks so creamy, it's actually shocking. I've got to be honest with you, I think there's a good variety of mattes and a good variety of shimmers. Some shimmers are more iridescent than others, but I definitely feel like they invested and paid more attention to the shimmer formula than they did to the matte. There's a lot of inconsistencies within the matte formula. Like for example, I feel like this first side of the palette, which are mattes and they're browns, typically easy shadows to create. These ones are a little bit patchy and very, very dry. But moving down the line, like the black is creamy, girl. I gotta be honest with you though, I feel like it's a good balance and you can't always trust swatches. I've gotta be honest with you, you just can't. So this is just an idea of how to get things going and for me to think what is going on, what am I gonna do to give me the Jaclyn Hill fantasy with this blush, you know me, you know what I'm playing. Girl, I can't get over how much blush I have on my cheeks today, all right? So let's start this. I think I wanna start off with the middle row. I wanna do Latte, which is the first brown shade on the row. And I'm gonna start softening that through the crease. So now that I've applied that shade Latte, kind of in the crease, smoked it out just a little bit, I'm gonna go in now with a little bit of a deeper shade. I think I'm gonna go in with Browning Burn. These names are so weird, it's kind of not even funny. I've got to be honest with so far my experience, I've never really tried any eyeshadows from e.l.f. And I think the pigment is laying there, but you do have to work to build it. I don't think that it's, you know, what you get on the pan, you're getting on your eye, unless you're really working for it. I don't know if I want to push the envelope of like, what's the expectation, right? I've had moments where I think that they're really, really great. And then I have moments that rail me back in and sit me in my seat and say, honey, they're drugstore. Like, you need to relax. But then I have moments in my life where I'm like, it doesn't matter if the drugstore, honey. They better come for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking nice. The color's looking good. It's building well. But is it like there? Is it iconic? Gorgina George on the black? We'll see. Now, what I have done essentially is I started to build up the pigment and the intensity around my eye area. I want the focus to kind of remain on the corner edges of the deep, and then I want to kind of maybe create a little bit of a natural, everyday kind of glimmer on the eyelid. What I did to kind of smooth everything out, lightest shade that they have here is the Latte Shade, which is this corner shade here. I used very, very little of this shadow, which is actually kind of convenient that they're not as pigmented because I used very little of the shadow and I just started sweeping it very gently, kind of softening any kind of line that I might have. And I'm gonna continue to build. I think next I wanna go and move on to, these more kind of purple tones here. And I just realized that the names are so weird because they're in another language. I feel really silly. It's French. And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And then I was like, I feel quite silly. So what I'm going to be doing is just recycling the brushes. Once you're happy with the blend of how the actual eyeshadow is looking with your clean brush, you can move on to a different shade and continue to map out, you know, the journey of your eyeshadow. But I want to kind of hop a little bit in between both the Central Line and Summer Fruit, which are like the more berry tones on here. And I want to start kind of packing it, but almost like softening out, you know, on the outer edge. Okay, so now that I've done that, what I want to do is I want to revisit back the first brush that we utilized for, you know, the packing and the softening, and I want to touch a little bit of the black and just kind of smoke out both of those tones there. I've got to be honest, I think that even though the eyeshadows are not premium quality, I think they're working really well, and I think they are building really, really nicely within each other. I kind of want to use the blue, but I don't want to go that crazy. I don't know what I want to do, if I'm honest with you. I feel like I want to do the blue on the bottom, but then I also feel like I want to do the light blue on the top, but I don't know if I want to do a copper. Oh, there's a lot of really good options in here. So let me take a second and let me see what I want to do. All right, I've decided I want to do a blue. They're just calling my name out. There's a lot of gorgeous tones in here, but I definitely want to do the blue. So I'm gonna cut my crease very, very lightly just to kind of give it, you know, some freshness. And we're gonna go ahead and place the blue. Before we move on to the eyeliner, I want to show you what this looks like. I mixed both of the blues. I wanted to ensure that, you know, we had something that was very iridescent, very much so I feel like the vibe of the palette. I think they worked really, really well. However, I had to really dig into the actual colors in order to get beautiful payoff into them. And I mean, the palette's working overall so far so good. I did use a purple base underneath just to create a little bit more of kind of an umph. You can use the black on the actual palette, and I think that will work just as fine. I think blending wise, this is looking really nice. Like, you know, it's kind of losing itself. We're not done, so let's continue and see what it has to offer us. Alright guys, so my makeup is almost done. The eyes are done, and I'm actually really happy with the way this turns out. I think they worked really well within each other. The formula isn't the most rich and fabulous formula of them all. However, you're not paying the most rich and fabulous formula price point. So I do have to say that I think I really did enjoy the palette, even though the swatches were a little bit dry with the tones that we used, which actually were a couple. We used both of the shimmer blues. We used pretty much all of the middle row. Literally, we started off with the latte, then we jumped over to, you know, browning. You know, we worked a little bit on central line and summer fruit. We did incorporate a little bit of Heart of Man, which is the darkest shade in here. From the shimmer tones, we only used the winter and then the turquoise shift. And I've got to tell you that honestly, they worked really well. I think this looks really cute. It's very sultry, almost like a little bit of a rock star vibe. I feel like I might be like, yeah, something like that, right? As a highlight, I did use a little bit of the shade here called Shy Timid, and I incorporated God's Grills, which is this gold tone with this kind of pinky iridescent tone. And I've got to be honest with you, like, they're beautiful on the skin. They worked really, really well. Now, to finalize the video, we are going to be working on lips, and of course, Tiana Major 9, she also did the collaboration of a actual lip liner and a gloss. Now, I have tried some glosses from them before, and I've got to be honest, I really do enjoy them. Packaging is super cute. We love the fact that all of these guys are vegan, cruelty-free. We respect and love that in this channel for sure. Now, I have been trying this lip liner and this beautiful gloss. I love the packaging. It's so cute. And the liner as well is really nice. I've really come to enjoy this combo. It works really well. It's very pigmented. I'm gonna do a little swatch here for the lip liner. And as you can see here, it's just a nice brown. I think it's very universal. You can go in as deep or as you know, line your lips as gently as you would like. In my opinion, I like to, you know, go and like draw it up real good, just like I should. And this is a doe foot here for the actual gloss. Love the doe foot for the gloss. I think it's perfect. It's not too big, it's not too small. And the pigment is just clear with some pearl reflect on there. It's pinky and blue and a little bit of purple and gold. And I've got to be honest with you, I've come to really enjoy this gloss. It is a little bit heavy, so it's not going to be that really runny, goopy gloss. It's definitely going to be more of that consistency where it's like that gel gloss. It reminds me a lot of the MAC, I think it's called like Glass. I really enjoy those. So let's start lighting my lips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start going in, following the kind of form of my lips, and then I'm just gonna drag it a little bit in just to create a little bit of a gradient. Okay, so now that I have my lips lined and faded into the actual lip, I am really happy with this. Definitely really easy to glide on the lips. It's just very user friendly. I don't really have any complaints whatsoever. It hasn't bled on me. And when I put this gloss on, you'll see how it just pulls together really well. Now, you can go in and create different lines and create different systems for your lips to look a little bit juicier. However, I'm keeping it very neutral today because you know, we've got a lot going on the top, you know, especially in the middle region with this Jaclyn Hill inspired without being intended to be inspired blush movement, right? You guys, I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed all of the tips and the little tricks, the review. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm surprised. I've never really tried anything from e.l.f. For the eyes before, and it works really well. I will continue to use the palette. I think it's very affordable and there's a lot of variation for sure. So you can very comfortably go and purchase this and understand that it's not gonna be the most oh my god palette. However, it does pull through and it does look amazing on the eyes. It works well, which that's the least we can expect for sure. I didn't have any fallout on the face. There was some fallout on the pan. However, overall, again, I gotta be honest with you, love the packaging. I do like the color selection. I would have wished that maybe they had somewhat of a lighter transition tone here for us. However, with what we had, I think this worked really well. I'm very happy with it. So definitely, I'm excited for this one. For the Pitizian, girl, you gotta come in this channel and show us how you say these names, baby. I do like it. I don't think that this is an ugly palette. I think it's very useful. I definitely have a lot of opportunity and a lot of options here. However, there's a learning curve here. I definitely have to go in and dig more into it. I just wasn't in love with it. I'm going to continue to use it for sure because we purchased it. However, am I obsessed and in love with it? No. Would I repurchase it? Absolutely not. Moving on. So, lip combo. Juice is real, honey. I feel like I'm in it to win it with this lip going on right here, right now. I love it. I absolutely had a wonderful time using that as well. And I had an amazing time creating this look and this review for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the review, leave it in the comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. What brands are out there that you're like, I don't know if I want to try this, but maybe Duhamel Bentley, might want to try them for you so you know what I know. You know what I'm saying? Girl, don't forget to subscribe, binge watch, it is a thing. I will catch you on the next one.
Bye!